you have a couple ductules. Looks pretty good. Lacrimal gland. Now notice that on the surface of this lacrimal gland tissue, you have black. For those who are not pathologists, what do you think the black stuff is? Immunohistochemistry. That's a very good speculation, but I'm going to tell you what it is, because it's only on the surface. This is the ink that the pathologists put on the surface to tell you if the margin is complete or not. Alright? So now you know where I'm coming from. Alright, now, what I would like to do, if you can look up here, we want to ask Daniel to turn the lights back on again. I want to show you the no, you don't have to turn it back on. You want to turn it back on, it's up to you. You have to go ahead, turn it back on. That's fine. You can turn the lights back on. You don't have to touch this. This is my assistant today, so I'm really grateful to you for the invitation and for helping me as my assistant today. Let's do a little bit of clinical orbital pathology correlations. So in general, a benign neoplasm tends to grow by expansion. Do you want to do it? Try it out, take a little rest. Yeah? Grows by expansion. Yeah, you don't want to do it, that's okay. You don't trust me that this will help you to remember. One more time. Grows by expansion. Okay. A malignant neoplasm tends to grow by infiltration. I will explain to you why this is so important now. If one has a chronic expanding lesion of the lacrimal gland fossa, as in a pleomorphic adenoma or benign mixed tumor, it grows by expansion. So what does it do to the adjacent bone? First of all, sometimes the oculoplastic surgeons, the orbital surgeons, will speak about the fossa formation. There already is a fossa here, so I don't know why they say fossa formation. What it does is it excavates the bone. It makes it deeper. The second thing that it will do is the chronic irritation of the expansion of the lacrimal gland mass in this part of the orbit will irritate the periosteum so that radiologically you get a little bit of cortical bone deposited by the periosteum there. Do you understand? Now, in the case of an adenoid cystic carcinoma, each one of these little fingers of tumors is like a drill. Therefore, the bone, radiologically, next to an adenoid cystic carcinoma will not be smooth and excavated. It will be, as we say in English, pitted, as if each one of these is drilling into the bone. It's understood? It's okay? All right. Can we decrease the lights one more time? Some people will ask me, so Bob, actually the students call me Dr. Bob. Yeah. Here's the capsule of this expanding mass. I will tell you right away, this is a pleomorphic adenoma of the lacrimal gland. What creates the capsule? Nothing creates the capsule. The capsule is created, is fashioned, because the lacrimal gland expands and it compresses the adjacent tissue. That's how you get the capsule. It's not that it's secreted. But notice that as we trace the capsule around, in this case, you still have, and the surgeon in this case did an outstanding job, because she took a rim of normal lacrimal gland tissue outside the capsule. But even so, trace the capsule, and you find you come down to only a couple fibers of collagen. And it's very, very easy, therefore, if the surgeon is not careful, to spill the contents of this tumor into the orbit. So what are the consequences if it's benign? Well, in this case, if it's benign and it spills into the orbit, you can get recurrence of the tumor into the orbit. And believe me, recurrent benign mixed tumor of the orbit is not, you don't want to treat a patient like this. And with each recurrence, it gets nastier and nastier. It can recur also as an adenocarcinoma. So I want to point out to you the reasons for taking that out. And then we can get into the stroma, because as I said, this is a pleomorphic, multiple shapes, multiple morphologies adenoma. Again, in the early days of light microscopy, they weren't quite sure what they were looking at, so they said, oh, this is mesenchyme, this is epithelium, it's a mixed tumor. It's not so mixed. The whole thing is derived really from epithelium, with the mesenchymal component derived from the myoepithelial cells of the ductules. And there are many, many variations of this. Okay? Pleomorphic adenoma? So again, let's go back to the lower magnification, because what the pathologist did here is she bisected the tumor to get it on the slide, but you can see how nice and round and how it is growing by expansion. You have the compressed normal lacrimal gland tissue around it. What do you expect to see? The next slide is going to be adenoid cystic carcinoma. What do you expect to see? Do you expect to see something that is encapsulated? Show me with your fingers what you expect to see. Okay, so you